Hello and welcome back to the channel. The Carabao Cup semi-final first legs are here. Newcastle versus Manchester City at St James's Park and Chelsea versus Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. I'll give you my scorelines and then I'll reveal your community predictions at the end. Let's jump straight in. First up, Newcastle hosted Manchester City at St James's Park on Thursday, January 13th at 8 PM UK time. It's live on ITV and Sky Sports, so there'll be a big national audience watching this one. Newcastle come into this with momentum from the FA Cup weekend where they shared a wild 3-3 in normal time with Bournemouth and then won on penalties. Those nights at St James's Park are loud and they've been hard to beat in cups at home this season. City's weekend couldn't have been more different. They demolished Exeter City 10-1 in the FA Cup, which turned heads and reminded everyone they can still go through the gears, even if the league forms are being a little bit sticky in early January. Head-to-head lately, it hasn't been one-way traffic. Newcastle actually beat City 2-1 at St James's Park in November, with Harvey Barnes scoring twice, and they also knocked City out of the League Cup in September 2023. But overall, City still tend to edge the series over the long run. Team news matters in the semi-final. City are juggling defensive issues. Josko Gvardiol is out long-term. Ruben Diaz and John Stones have been doubts, and Macho Kovacic plus Oscar Bob have also been sidelined, which has even prompted a recall of youngster Max Alleyne. Pep has mentioned niggles and said they'll avoid risks, and he's also been vocal about preferring a one-leg semi-final to ease the schedule. Newcastle have had their own knocks recently, but you still look to Bruno Guimaraes to control the tempo and Anthony Gordon to threaten in transition, and the set-piece threat at St James's Park is real in front of that crowd. Tactically, I'm expecting City to dominate possession as usual, but Newcastle to be compact, aggressive on set-pieces and punchy counters. City will rotate less than they do early in this competition because of the stakes, but with the Manchester derby looming, Pep may still manage minutes. Given the recent injuries and how tough St James's Park is on these nights, I don't see either side putting away. My prediction, Newcastle 1, Manchester City 1. On Wednesday night, it's Chelsea versus Arsenal at Stamford Bridge, 8 PM UK, a London derby with a place at Wembley in reach. Chelsea have just changed head coach. Liam Rosenior took charge this month, and his debut was a 5-1 FA Cup win at Charlton, which was a confidence boost. He's hinted that Reece James, Cole Palmer and Malo Gusto were given time to recover with that cup rotation and would be assessed right up to match day. Form-wise, Chelsea have been up and down in the league around New Year, draws with Man City and Bournemouth, a defeat at Fulham, and then that FA Cup lift under Rosenior. But they're still in the mix domestically and back in the Champions League this season. Arsenal arrive with elite consistency and the best defensive numbers in the league this season. Arteta's side have been top of the table and are unbeaten in a long stretch, with clean sheets and control of games becoming the norm. However, defensive absences could be a talking point for the first leg. There have been doubts over William Saliba and Leandro Trossard, and Ricardo Calafiori and Piero Hincapié have also been listed as unavailable, which might force Arteta into some reshuffling at the back. Head-to-head at the Bridge recently, Arsenal have enjoyed themselves. The last 3 league meetings at Stamford Bridge have all been draws or Arsenal wins, and Chelsea admit they've struggled to beat Arsenal at home since 2018. That's relevant here because a cagey first leg often mirrors the league's territorial patterns. Tactically, I expect Chelsea to keep a tight mid-block and look for Palmer between the lines if he's fit, plus quick outlets wide. Arsenal will try to control midfield through Rice and Odegaard, with Saka or Martinelli threatening on the outside, but if they're light at centre-back, they may manage a risk a bit more than usual. I think the occasion and the two-leg format nudge this towards a stalemate. My prediction, Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1. Now, let's put Michael's next to yours from the community poll. For Newcastle versus Man City, you voted Newcastle 69%, draw 0%, Man City 31%. For Chelsea versus Arsenal, you went Chelsea 8%, draw 8%, Arsenal 85%. Interesting split, you've gone big on Newcastle at home and very strong on Arsenal away. Those are my first leg predictions and your community calls. Drop your scorelines in the comments. Tell me who reaches Wembley, and if you're back in the aggregate swings after leg 2, like, subscribe and hit the bell. And I'll see you right after the first legs for second leg predictions in 3 weeks' time.